go? How much further do we have to go? How much do we have to clean out? All of them have to go out? Oh, God. Almost 8,000 chairs have to go on the floor, and most of them will be done today. We were only able to do about, say, 8 sections yesterday because of all the trucks.
What is the trick to getting it done and getting it done?
Pretty much it's getting a group of people together who can move really fast. I try to team them up in pairs to work in each section, and then everybody else just kind of goes to the back, and they all work together. It works out.
Pat Campbell runs the Carrier Dome.
On show day, we'll have almost 1,600 people, all different types of jobs going on, temporary, full-time, whatever, working at the facility the night of the show. And the biggest part of it is just coordinating all those people, making sure they show up when they're supposed to show up. This facility is a football stadium, and it's set up for football. It's not a concert hall, and we have to convert it to a concert hall, and that's quite an undertaking.
How big of a production is this on the scale of things that you see here?
This is big. This is a Rolling Stones type of production. The Stones is the Stones. They're big. They were the biggest probably we've ever done here. And this is right behind it.
Hard work?
Very hard work. We have some very dedicated people. Put in a lot of hours, 12, 14-hour days. We'll go all night Friday night. I came in today at like 6 o'clock. Won't go home till tomorrow, till 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then we're in here all day tomorrow doing chairs, and then back in here Sunday morning at 6 o'clock again, and we'll be out of here till Monday night or Tuesday.
Seems like you still have a long way to go.
We got a long way to go today. It's only 10:30, and I think we'll be all right. We only got 3 more tractors coming in, so 3 more trailers coming in, so we're all right.
Do you worry?
You always worry. That's where the stress comes in, I guess.
This morning already we've served hot breakfast to 85 of the crew members and served special functions. There's beverage going on constantly.
People in here constantly preparing?
Yes. James was in this morning probably. Were you in at 5? He was in at 5 this morning. He's been at 5 all week to prepare the hot breakfast for the crew. We've been serving meals since Tuesday, but today is the big day. Everyone is here today.
Good morning, Carrier Dome. This is Ann. May I help you? Rick is out in the arena right now setting up for the concert. Could I take a message?
Is this a little too stressful? Would you rather see something, or does the excitement make it all that more challenging?
I think to a person on our staff, if you ask them what kind of events they like to work on, they would tell you concerts, because they're different. Each one is unique, and it's gets you out of the normal routine.
Actually, I put John Long at 112. You go to 113. You go to 113. Okay. Do you need earplugs?
I can't find when you have an extra.
Oh, isn't that something? I think you must send these back to Jamaica or something, because every concert you need. Do you need a flashlight too?
I didn't get one last.
Need some help? Okay, you're going to go down to 113 and take a left. That'll put you right on the floor.
113 left.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
We'll stage 6 football games, 18 to 20 basketball games, and through the course of the year, those will get to become pretty routine. A concert, it's never routine. You have to be 100%, 150% focused, and I think the staff here really gets up for that. It's like the Super Bowl. It's the big game, and everybody gets ready for it.
(4 p.m., Hancock Airport. For 3 men in the music business, the workday has begun. In this business, though, every day means a different place to work. Today, it's the Carrier Dome.
Hello. Is Chuck around? Screen Chuck.
How much work goes into it? And also, before you even go on a concert tour, there's a lot of work that goes into this, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to think, we started talking about this back last sort of September, October, about what we're going to do, and started getting things like the screens designed, because they're specially built, and the whole system set up so it could actually work. I mean, this is an unusual way of doing it. And it's also looking at the venues, seeing where we can fit, where we can't fit. And then the real work starts sort of just January, February this year, culminating in the rehearsals, which we did in Houston about 3 or 4 weeks ago, which is 3 weeks of intensive production rehearsals. And that's, for me, the grueling part. That's when I get involved. And you work out what to put on the screen, and you make changes. And all, I mean, we actually do push the crew very hard then, because they've designed the whole thing, and the minute you get in there, you realise it's not right, because this needs to be there, and that needs to come down, and that screen's too high, and you chop and you change, and the welding machines are out. We had a crazy 3 weeks in Houston. But they worked very hard and got it ready.
Chris. Can you hear me? Can you see?
For these workers on the rock assembly line, the road does have its benefits. For Genesis, the benefit is evolution.
We've written them in the studio, and we've recorded them, you know, in the studio. So they've only had a certain limited lifespan, you know. And then you take them out on the road, and they suddenly become different types of songs. They suddenly grow into sometimes much stronger pieces than they even were on the records.
Home by the sea, home by the sea, home by the sea, home by the sea. Creeping up the blind side, shinning up the wall, stealing through the dark of night, climbing through the window, stepping to the floor, checking to the left and the right.
You know, a lot of kids growing up think it would be the most incredible experience to be a rock and roll star. And here you are, bona fide rock and roll star for 20 years. And you're down in the Meadowlands, and then you hop on a plane, and you fly to Syracuse, and you're into a hall, and you are doing a sound check, then you're eating, then you're on stage, then you're out of the hall and on the way to Toronto, and doing the same thing over and over again. It doesn't sound very glamorous when you look at it that way. This isn't real glamour, is it?
No, I mean, it's not. However, it's not a half a bad life to get paid for what you like doing. I mean, I feel very lucky. More for that reason than anything else. You know, it's something I enjoy writing and playing music more than anything else. And to get be able to make it your job is fantastic. But you're right, I mean, there is a hard side of it, which is travel. I mean, we travel incredibly well, and we're looked after very well, but it's still, there's always a kind of pressure and a strain on one. I mean, there is a side that people don't see. They don't see the hours the guys set up here, all the arrangements made in getting the vans or the cars to the plane in time, you know.
How will you try to survive?
No, you do survive. I think, you know, we've done it for 20 years now, 25 years. 20 years on the road, really. And you find out, you get to know what you can do and what you can't do.
What can't you do?
You can't stay up as late as you used to be able to stay up. You're not as young as you were, those kind of things. You kind of know when to slow down, when to have a bit of a day off, or when just to ease up and stuff.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye. For a while.
You're going that way, right?
Huh?
What are we doing?
Is that one? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Wrong way.
Excellent.
People are probably going to be floored by what they see. I mean, it is going to be staggering.
Pull it down, pull it tight.
One more. My name's Rick Mooney. I am advanced carpenter, which means that I am part of this advanced team that goes in day before the show. I don't think that John Public in the audience really understands or appreciates 5 tons of video moving back and forth at incredible speeds. And the computer lighting, coordinating all that computer lighting. What they see is a snapshot of what's really going on. And that's the way it should be.
All right, let's go ahead and put our 4 ground things, connecting, working off stage, connecting to the on-stage collar as we go.
This job now has been what we refer to as working half days. That's 12 hours.
If the show, as they claim, is staggering, so is the amount of work that goes into setting the stage for one stop along a major concert tour. With Genesis, there are 46 truckloads of equipment, 160 full-time tour crew members, 50 people hired at each location to build the stage, and 100 more people who work the night of the show. And the end result always looks the same.
Well, it's this corner that you just can't get things into because of that coming up. Once you get over the top, traps the fork.
Do we still need bracing underneath here?
We should be.
Or underneath there?
Yeah,
It's being done? Okay.
10 tonight.
Cool.
Before we even began rehearsals, there was about a year worth of engineering, designing, planning, all of this. It's just how the whole thing got built and how it is meant to go together so that it is the same every day in every city. There was millions spent to get this tour started. The quote that I heard was $7.5 million just to get out of the box, to get started. And that's a lot of money.
I doubt the band will be making any money on this at all.
The Genesis stage show is billed as one of the most technologically advanced ever created. But it is as much an engineering feat as it is a technological feat.
So you basically back up and start at square one as far as figuring out how all of these things are going to interact with each other. How putting a 5-ton video on top of, 20 tons worth of scaffolding on top of some other company's stage. How's that going to work?
And almost 20 years of this doesn't wear you down after a while?
It's all different. Every show is different. Every city is different. I've retired from this so many times, from the production managers on down to all of the touring personnel. We all know each other, and I miss that when I'm at home.
But home for Rick and the rest of the crew is just another word right now. When they're on tour, their job is their whole world. And for these folks anyway, all the world's a stage.
The show itself is stunning, and it's so much a different look that people, are shocked by it. It's a good rock and roll show.
How big a Genesis fan are you?
I followed him for probably 18 years anyway.
It's a pretty big fan.
Sure.
Jeff Hausman of Chittenango likes Genesis and has known it since he was 13. Likes the band enough to collect every record they've ever made.
Their first album is quite rare. Genesis to Revelation.
And every record each member and former member of the band has made.
These are Steve Hackett's albums. This is his first solo album here.
Jeff owns 120 records in all, a grand, passionate life's project. So you've heard things on these albums that maybe only a handful of American record listeners have heard of Genesis.
Possibly, yeah, sure. I like it all. If you're going to collect it, I want everything they have released, if possible. I'm not saying I have it all. I've got a good selection of it. I'm sure there's some out there that I don't have. There always will be, I think.
It gives you a reason to keep on living, doesn't it?
Right, keep going, keep looking.
You handle them like they're gold.
Yeah, to me. We don't want to ruin them. Because you can't get another one. Or if you did, you got lucky.
Do you ever listen to them?
Not the rare ones, no. This one came out of Chicago. It's a double live album. Live from the Monster's Mouth, it says.
A bootleg?
Yes, exactly. Made in Australia, this one is. And on the bootlegs, they never put what's on it. I don't know why. But
That one says what?
Yugoslavian folk dances is what they put on it. Maybe so if somebody found it, they wouldn't know what it was. If you're not supposed to have it, I guess, I don't know. That's Peter Gabriel there.
Always did wear the costumes, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did you like that part of the band? That
The
showy,
theatrics?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
theatrics.
sure. Added a lot to the stage. Part of the family had left when Peter left. Anthony, of course, left a few years before that, Anthony Phillips. But I guess you just got to move on and enjoy what they have to offer. It'd be nice if they'd all come back and play together. Steve and Peter, maybe even Anthony.
Close the book, gracefully recline. The songs bound.
See, these are the songs I enjoy.
What makes you obsessive about it?
I just wanted everything they had ever produced so I could hear everything they had to offer. So I could enjoy it all instead of just getting bits and pieces of it. If you miss an album here or miss an album here, it's part of their chapter of the band. I'd like to meet them. Tony and Phil. I've met Mike. I'd like to meet them all.
Really?
Yeah, that'd be the ultimate goal for me.
What is it that you want to say to Phil Collins?
Well, how much I really enjoy their music.
Has it made a
How much
difference?
satisfaction I get out of watching them play. I like to see them in concert. Live, there's nothing like a live show.
By the end of the tour, is everybody pretty much ready to say, that's the last tour?
No, we've never, I mean, I think people always imagine, because we have big gaps now, that we sort of stop and then suddenly we say, hey, let's do it again. I mean, Genesis is an ongoing thing as far as we're concerned.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Hold on. And I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Hold on. Hold on. I must have dreamed 1,000 dreams. I've been haunted by 1,000,000 screams. But I can hear them marching feet and them moving into the street. Well, there's too many men, there's too many people making too many problems. But there's not much love to go around. You tell me why this is a land of confusion. Now this is the world we live in. These are the hands we give up. Use them and let's start trying to make this a place worth living in.
Once the concert here at the Dome is over, the process begins all over again. The roadies move in to move on to the next town, the next fans, the next show. For 24 hours, I'm Ron Curtis. Good night.